Remember in the Bad Batch season 2, the very beginning of it, the episode, I believe it was called Speed, where it highlighted how Tech was, the center of the story. And he had his moment to shine, and everybody loved him, and he thought he was this great character, and he was. He was an awesome character. Tech was amazing. And then it showed him more than just this technical genius and tightwad who was sticking to certain guidelines and rules and all this stuff. And he opened up and became so much more. Well, we're kind of seeing that with Crosshair now in the beginning of the Bad Batch Season 3. Is this starting to ring a bell? And that's just one of the things I want to talk about today. There are so many things I want to get through because I rewatched the Bad Batch Season 3, Episodes 1, 2, and 3, and kind of switched my gears a little bit on what I think is going to happen. But before I get into it, a quick word from our sponsor, and that sponsor is me. Yeah, I can be the sponsor. I pay for everything around here. All this is mine. Nobody gave it to me. Nobody gave me any money for it. So yeah, I'm the sponsor. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like for the video, and drop a comment down below, and let's see what you think of the Bad Batch Season 3 so far, and where you think it might go. All right, let's get to it. Okay, I know the Bad Batch Season 3 has only had 3 episodes, and there's still quite a bit to get through, and there's a lot to get through in the final, 13 episodes. So I'm probably being a little preemptive here, but I'm going to go ahead and give my predictions, and the first one is about Crosshair, and then we're going to move on to my Snoke and Palpatine predictions, and so on and so forth. So let's try that out. All right, so first we have Crosshair. Everything dealing with Crosshair in the first 3 episodes has a dark theme, and they're highlighting Crosshair quite a bit, putting him in the spotlight. Now, he has been in the spotlight a little bit before, but not like this. This is showing his real emotion. This is showing that his hand is unstable, which can affect his shooting, and that's not the bigger problem. The bigger problem is we go back to season 2 of the Bad Batch, and we see that Tech had this similar highlighted experience where he was the hero, he was this great guy, saved the day, all that stuff, and we really got connected to his character, only to be ripped away from him at the end of season 2 with his death in Plan 99. So it's kind of ringing a bell here. History repeats itself. George Lucas said it's like a poem, each stanza rhymes with the last, and that kind of thing. So I have a feeling Crosshair isn't really going to make it. I don't know. A lot of people might feel that way, but then we think about it, and it's a really dark theme throughout. So maybe much of Clone Force 99 isn't going to make it. Hunter or Wrecker, one of them could also be gone. Wrecker has been highlighted a couple times and had some really great moments, and we really love that character. Big, strong brute, not dumb, but just, kind of lovable. And it would hurt really bad for him to go. And I feel like that could possibly happen, that Wrecker could be gone. Hunter and Omega move back to where Phee Genoa is. I forget the name of the island, but with the little clone boys and all that. And Phee Genoa become like a mother figure to Omega and help raise her. Now, let's move on to the Snoke and stuff. Okay, so I've seen a lot of channels out there and a lot of comments and stuff saying that Omega's DNA is going to help create Snoke. Okay, that seems feasible. And I'm not saying that those people are wrong, because I could entirely be wrong. But to me, why does it make sense to create Snoke before a M-count match or midichlorian count match is set up for Palpatine? Palpatine wants this whole empire, and at this time he believes he is the rightful ruler of it, and he's going to continue ruling it, and all signs indicate that he is. There is nothing showing that this great rebellion is going to destroy him. There's no sign that any Jedi is going to come up, turn his right-hand man against him, and have him thrown down a pit. There's no sign of that. For all things, Palpatine thinks he is the one. The only thing that would stop him from continuing his rule is his own death. He doesn't foresee that happening right away, but he does know it's a possibility. So he's going to make sure his own contingency plan is in place before he creates Snoke. I don't even think Snoke's a thought at this point. And from everything we know, Snoke was created to lead the First Order, not the Empire. He was also created to turn Ben Solo into Kylo Ren. And at this point, Ben Solo's still years away from being even born. So there's no reason to create this Snoke guy. I mean, they have the enhanced genetics that they can use from the Kaminoans at rapid growth and that sort of thing. So it wouldn't take long as you'd think, to create a Snoke character. That would be an afterthought. That would be something that Palpatine would put in place because he sees a losing battle and he needs to have a figurehead in place until his own body is cloned properly. Now he has the DNA match for it. He has the DNA that he needs to create that body. It's just the means of creating his own body in his own likeness and his own image. And that's the problem that they have in the First Order, is creating a Palpatine body that can live or not reject what it's supposed to do, not reject its fate, so to speak, as in Rey's father. Yeah, love Rey or hate her, it's a thing, and all signs lead to all these stories coming out to the First Order era or the Star Wars sequel trilogy era. So Palpatine isn't ready to create Snoke yet because he hasn't got his own contingency plan fully in the works. Does that make sense? Okay, so we've looked at it from the character perspective or the story perspective, but what about the viewer perspective, which is us? How are we going to see the Bad Batch and Palpatine and Snoke and all that stuff? Well, we haven't even seen it firmly cemented that Omega DNA is for Palpatine, and they need to show that before they show the rise of Snoke. I know a lot of people say that Dave Filoni loves the sequel trilogy and he wants to jump to that as quick as possible, and that may be true, but we need to see the Palpatine stuff come to fruition first. We don't need to see the Snoke stuff come to fruition first. And a lot of people like Snoke, a lot of people don't like Snoke, and that is what it is, and I'm not here to judge opinions on that or even give my own opinion on it. I just know how the story is going to play out eventually, and it's going to eventually show Palpatine being created. Now, that might open it up for another animated style or live action series that would show the creation of Snoke later on, and that very well could be. But I don't think the Bad Batch Season 3 is it. I think this is going to be a Palpatine story at the end. And if that's all true, if I'm right about that, then that means that Omega, as in one theory video I did a long time ago, Omega is technically going to be the grandmother of Rey. Makes sense. There's a father host, Palpatine, and there needs to be, I guess, a female host. I don't know how these things work. I don't clone people. What do I look like, a cloner? I don't have a long neck and a tiny head. Hey, yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong. A lot of people are wrong. Everybody's wrong once in a while. I don't know if anybody's ever been completely right. Anyway, so that's how I see the Bad Batch Season 3 playing out. Leave me a comment down below what you think. If I'm totally wrong, that this is a Snoke thing and not a Palpatine thing. It just doesn't make sense to me because Palpatine needs to have his own afterlife planned before planning somebody else to lead his troops. Anyways, leave me a comment, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, and positivity in Star Wars can be the only way.